All right. I want to say all praises be to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakakotash, the honest apostles, was the quanium of great millstone rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren, Akim out there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing his truth, this good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and his wicked and evilest empire. You understand? Hey, so this is going to be a video, basically, dealing with these women, man. Because guess what? The serpent, dealing specifically the Israelite woman, the serpent is still deceiving Eve to this day, man. You understand? The serpent, the so-called white man, the spirit of Esau, Edom, which is that serpent, which is that man coming back in the reincarnation as Esau, Edom, and his descendants, they are still deceiving. They are still deceiving the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American woman, man. The Israelite woman, man. That's why. That's why you have big shows like what? Kevin Samuels and these different guys, man, out there, what? Rebuking these women, man. You understand? Exposing these women, man. And guess what? You have all these women coming up against him. You know what I mean? Of which the apostles and the elders, really, they came with that first, man. You know what I mean? The Bible is the most heavy-hitting subject when it comes to putting women in their rightful order, man, which is beneath the man. You understand? But guess what? The so-called white man, he comes in these women ear, just like the serpent did with Eve. The so-called white man back then did with Eve. He doing to this women, telling them what? The independent women, they don't need men. You know what I mean? They're better than the so-called black man. You understand? They can do whatever they want. He gave them freedoms, man. He gave them rights above men. You understand? So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 14. And the Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. That happened to Esau, Edom, when what? He was pushed into the caves of Europe, man. Because the serpent was a man. And that same spirit came back as Esau, Edom, man. You understand? And what? The Edomites, they were pushed into the caves, man. They were dwelling like beasts, man. You know what I mean? During the dark ages. You understand? That was prophecy fulfilling. You understand? And the Lord, verse 15. And I put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. The seed of the righteous, you know what I mean, which is the seed of the righteous line of Adam, the Israelites, and between the serpent seed, man, the Edomites. You understand? That's who they came back as in a regeneration. You understand? That's why Esau and Jacob have that disagreement, man. Not disagreement. Now, what more than a disagreement? Man. We had enmity. We bitter enemies. You understand? It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Conflicts, man, between Esau, Edom, and Israel, man. But ultimately, what? Israel is gonna prevail, man. You understand? Israel, Yahweh Shai, is gonna be the one with 144,000 to take Esau, Edom out of power, man. The serpent, the devil, man, the old serpent called the devil, man. You know what I mean? Who's deceiving the whole world, man, especially these women. You understand? That's why the so-called black woman, you know what I mean, here in America is so out of order, man. Because this is a power seat, man, of the serpent, man, of Esau, Edom. You understand? And he in the air of the so-called Negro woman, man. That's why she's so bugged out, man. That's why she's so against the so-called Negro man, man. She's your enemy, man. You know what I mean? Esau is 1A. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American woman is... No, Esau is 1. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American woman is 1A, man. Enemy number 1, enemy 1A, man. You understand? Because they work in tandem, man. A match made in hell. Like brothers always say. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Because you so-called Negro woman, you know what I mean, which is came down the line to all women in general, or you so-called Negro man, you Israelite woman, hey, because you listen to the serpent, man, You went chasing after the ideas and the philosophies that the serpent put in your mind, you know what I mean, to supersede the man, just like you're doing to this day, man. You know what I mean? So-called black woman empowerment, man. You know what I mean? Black women being pastors, man. Hey, black women all in corporate America, on TV, Oprah. You know what I mean? These different shows with black women. Hey, the so-called black woman here in America is over the so-called black man, man. She supersedes the black man, man. Why? Because that old serpent called the devil is allowing her to do so, man. You understand? That old match made in hell, man. You know what I mean? It's still prospering wickedly to this day, man. You understand? Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Talking about the birth, labor pains, when the woman bringeth forth children. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, birth pains. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Because at the end of the day, these women still want a quote-unquote alpha male, man. You understand? As rebellious and as demonic as they are, man, they still want a man to put them in their place, man, to rule over them, man. Why? Because that's the rightful order of things, man. You understand? But it's like a fight, man. It's a fight between the natural order of things and the natural order of things and Esau Edom's programming, man, for them to come up against the Israelite man. You understand? Hey, check this out, man. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife. These women always want, oh, you gotta listen to me. You gotta, no, man. No, man. Don't listen to these Babylonian women, man. You know what I mean? And even if you do, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, man. This word, this truth takes preeminence, man. You know what I mean? If whatever they're saying don't validate, don't match with this truth, hey, you have to X that shit out, man. You know what I mean? These women, oh, you have to listen to what I say. I have an opinion. You understand? You have to hear me out. Yeah, you can hear them out, whatever, but hey, these women are corrupted, man. If Eve was corrupted, you know what I mean, a woman of the ancient world was corrupted, how much more these Babylonian women, man? You know what I mean? And then this is the most like chastising Adam, man, for listening unto his wife, man. For listening to his wife, you know what I mean? And taking heed to these mad philosophies that his wife brought to him, man. Via the serpent, man. Via Esau, Edom, the devil, man. You understand? And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto thy wife, unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, which this is all metaphoric, of which I commanded thee not, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life. So because you took all of that tree of those mad philosophies, man, that the serpent introduced to Eve, man. You know what I mean? And still have hey man, the Bible is perfect, man. You know what I mean? Because Eve is still being deceived by the devil, Esau, to this day. You understand? More than ever, man. You understand? That's why the independent, they with homosexuality, the LGBTQ. Hey, man, every manner of madness, the so-called black woman is going to support it, man. You know what I mean? Anything the white man say, the vaccine. I'm just watching an advert on the news, man. This so-called West Indian woman, probably a Jamaican lady, old, you know what I mean, woman, older woman. Hey, she says over here, go take the vaccine. Go take the vaccine. Because and they have this bitch on TV, man. Speaking out patois, man. What the fuck? What? Hey, that's to show you Esau Edom is doing the most, man. You have an older Benjamin woman on TV, man, speaking out patois, talking to you Jakes. And this is here in New York, man. Telling you Jakes to go take the vaccines, man. Telling you Benjamins to go take the vaccine, man. Go take the vaccine. Yes. I don't know what you're waiting for. Oh, man. Well, what? She have been deceived by the serpent, man. You know what I mean? She have been deceived by the serpent. She have eaten of the fruit of the serpent, man. You understand? And it's always the woman, man. It's always the woman, man. You know what I mean? Quick testimony, man. I remember back when I was in high school, man. You know what I mean? This is back in the islands. You understand? We was having a conversation. We was having a little get-together. And then the topic of homosexuality came up, man. You understand? And amen. And guess who was for it, man? All the females in the class was okaying homosexuality. But guess what? All the dudes in the class, we was against it, man. We was wholeheartedly against it. But guess what? All the females in the class, they was okaying it, man. They was giving it a pass. They was with it. You understand? That's to show you, man. You know what I mean? These women, women are off by nature, man. You understand? That's why they need that guidance of a man, man. You understand? They need that guidance of a man, man. So all this woman empowerment madness, this is a serpent still deceiving Eve, man, to her own downfall. You understand? To her own downfall, man. That's why you don't listen to these women, man. Because these women are easily corrupted, have been corrupted, easily corrupted by the serpent, man, by Esau, Edom, by the devil. You understand? This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 12. Slack at verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Read that again. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Why? Because woman bring madness, man. Woman bring confusion. You understand? Woman bring drama. You know what I mean? That's why there's a term called drama queens, man. Now, you don't have drama kings, you drama queens, man. You know what I mean? Woman bring madness, man. Bring discord. You know what I mean? So that's why a sanction that woman to be in silence, man. You know what I mean? To have no authority over the man, man. Not to usurp authority over the man. So all you women judges, women pastors, women police officers, you out of order, man. But guess what? This is the serpent deceiving Eve, man. He have her out of a natural course, man, to this day, man. But guess what? The Most High is gonna make everything right. You understand? He's gonna perfect the natural order once and for all, man, upon the downfall of Esau, Edom, man, the serpent, man, the devil. You understand? For Adam was first formed than Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. The woman was deceived, was in the transgression. And the woman is still being deceived to this day, man. To this day. You Negro, Latino, Native American woman, you Eves are still being deceived to this day, man. You understand? It only makes sense, man. And it only makes sense that you Negro woman are Eve, man. Because you're the top one that Esau, Edom, comes after, man, to push his agenda, man. Homosexuality, woman empowerment, the women's movement, feminism. You the top one pushing that shit, man. Of which it has been the destruction of the so-called black community, man. You understand? It has been the destruction of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American community, particularly the so-called black community, so-called. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of a foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Why? Because they have been polluted by Esau, Edom, man. That's the curses, man. You know what I mean? And this curse is extended, man, from Eve's transgression on down, man. You still are not a curse, man, of being influenced by this devil, by Esau, Edom, man. You understand? And toward her young one that coming out from between her feet, abortions, man. Esau, Edom legalized the thing, man. And the so-called black woman is numero uno in abortions, man. Can't tell a black woman nothing, man, about abortion, man. They number one. That's the serpent deceiving Eve, man. To kill her own children, man. And calling this woman empowerment. You understand? You see why we need the Most High? You understand? You see why we need Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? You have women killing their children, calling it woman empowerment, man. You know what I mean? This is the height of madness, man. You know what I mean? And toward her children which she shall bear, For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates, which happened in the past, man. During the different sieges on Jerusalem, the woman ate their children, and it's going to happen again, man. Women are going to be eating their children in these last days and times, man. Because why? They curse, man. I mean, you want to listen to the so-called white man? Yeah, guess what? You're going to have to do some more and more grievous things, man. You would like to abort your children? Guess what? You're going to have to eat your children, man. That's the most I'm going to mock you, man. You know what I mean? And destroy you. You understand? For listening to this devil. For listening to this, hey, man. This old serpent called the devil, man. Hey, man. Hey, but we know a remnant of you sisters, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American women is going to come back, man. A remnant, you know what I mean? Wherever you may be, you know what I mean? most of you probably going to come from outside of America, man. Not here in Babylon, because, hey, Babylon is most polluted, man. You know what I mean? So I could only think, hey, most of the women is going to come from across the four corners of the earth, man. The Israelite woman scattered across the four corners of the earth, man. Of course, you have righteous sisters here in Babylon too, man. But very few and far in between, man. Because this is the cesspool, man. For the serpent deceiving Eve, man. This is ground zero for the serpent deceiving and manipulating Eve. You understand? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's Esau Edom, man. He decreeing unrighteous decrees, man. You know what I mean? 2 men, 2 women together. You understand? And Eve accepted, man. Abortion. Unrighteous decree, he legalized it. You understand? Adultery, he legalized it. All these things, drugs. All these things he legalized it, man. But guess what? The Most High about to delegalize it and destroy you, man. You know what I mean? The Most High about to outlaw this, man. Outlaw all the madness and the mad decrees that you put in the earth, man. And establish back the rightful order. Isaiah the 11th chapter. You understand? That is supposed to be on the planet. Genesis 3:16, man. You know what I mean? Your husband shall rule over you, man. The rightful order, man. You understand? And that's how it's going to be, man. This old serpent called the devil is about to get Isaiah 14, man. Isaiah 14 and 12, man. He about to get put out of power, man. You understand? And the rightful rulers of the planet is about to come back in power. So with that, when I say Kala Laliyam La, Abanawa Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Harakaku Dash, double honors to the apostles was the quantum of great Milson well. And shalom to you, sincere brethren. Shalom.